In our previous video, we talked about multiplying fractions. In this video, we're going to talk about dividing fractions. So we're going to start off by saying that if we have two fractions, for instance, we have a over b divided by c over d, that we're going to take the first fraction just as it is, and we're going to invert and multiply the second fraction. So we're going to keep the first fraction the way it looks, and then we're going to turn over the second fraction, then we're going to multiply. So when we multiply, we're going to do top times top. So that's going to give us AD over BC. Now let's take a little bit more concrete example. So let's do 1/3 divided by 1/3. Well, we're going to take our second fraction and turn it over, and that becomes 3 over 1. Well, remember from the previous video, we can cancel out, so we can say 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 3 once. So now we have 1 times 1 over 1 times 1, which is 1 over 1, which of course is just 1. Our next fraction will be 3/4 divided by 6/10. So we're going to keep our 3/4 the way it is, and we're going to turn over our second fraction, and we can say that 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times, 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. So now I have 1 times 5 over 2 times 2, so we have 5/4. So our next one might be written like this. We could also see 2/5 divided by 8/5. Well, same thing applies. We're going to leave the top fraction the way it is. So we're going to have 2 over 5, then times, we turn the bottom fraction or second fraction over, 5 over 8. So we can cancel out our 5s. Then let's cancel out a 2 with a 2 from the bottom, which leaves us 4. So we're going to have 1 times 1 is 1, over 1 times 4 is 4, so our answer is 1/4. So let's do 9 over 10 divided by 3 over 8. Same story. We're going to leave our first fraction the way it was, and we're going to turn over and multiply our second fraction. So that 3/8 turns into 8/3. And we're going to cancel out the 3. Then we're going to cancel out the 2's. So we're going to wind up with 12 over 5. So our next one is going to be 16 over 11 divided by 8 over 3. So once again, we turn the second fraction over and then multiply. So we can cancel out 8 from the 8 and 8 from the 16. So that's going to leave us 2 times 3 is 6. Over 11 times 1 is 11. So our next one, we have 99 over 100 divided by 9 over 10. So once again, we're going to leave our first fraction the way it is, and we're going to turn the second one over. So we can cancel 10 out of 10, leaves us 1. 10 out of 100 leaves us 10. Cancel 9 out of the 9. And 9 out of the 99, which will leave us 11. So we have 11 times 1 over 10 times 1, which is 11/10. So we're going to go with 25 over 44 divided by 5 over 8. Turn the second fraction over and multiply. So we say 5 goes into 5 once, goes into 25 5 times. So we can cancel 4 out of 8, which leaves us 2, and cancel 4 out of 44, which leaves us 11. So we're left with 5 times 2 is 10, over 11 times 1 is 11. Let's do one more. So we have 49 over 25 divided by 14 over 5. So once again, we leave our first fraction the way it's written, and we turn our second one over, and we see if we can cancel something out. Well, let's cancel 5 out of our 25, which will leave us 5. 5 out of our 5, which leaves us 1. Cancel 7 out of our 49, which leaves us 7. Cancel 7 out of 14, which leaves us 2. So our answer is going to be 7 times 1 is 7, over 5 times 2 is 10.